The Indian Air Force has test-fired its newest secret weapon, which will be a nightmare for Chinese underground bunkers in Aksai Chin or Pakistani military command posts in case of any confrontation with India. An Indian Air Force Su30 MKI fighter jet conducted the secret missile test in the strategic Andaman and Nicobar Islands test range. This missile is an air-launched ballistic missile called Crystal Maze 2 from Israel. So how will the Crystal Maze 2 missile give Indian air power the edge in any two-front war with China or Pakistan? Now this ballistic missile is also called ROCKS, also promises to boost India's defense manufacturing sector, as Defense Ministry under Rajnath Singh wants to procure the missile in large numbers under the Make in India initiative, which may also involve transfer of valuable missile technology to India. But first, what is the Crystal Maze missile? Now it has a range of 250 kilometers, thus enhancing Indian military's standoff capabilities or engaging the enemy from long distances. As the name suggests, it is a ballistic missile. However, it is a unique air-launched ballistic missile, which means it could be fired from any fighter jet anywhere in the vast Indian territory or Indian airspace. Thus, it is virtually impossible to predict or intercept. Secondly, it is a ballistic missile, which means after being fired, it quickly gains altitude, soaring high into the atmosphere, and then swoops down on the designated target with tremendous speed, thus giving the enemy little chance to intercept this missile. Defense and aerospace expert Girish Lingana has been quoted in the Financial Express as saying, quote, Crystal 2 operates effectively in GPS-denied areas and thus can breach regions secured by air defense systems. This system allows for the choice between penetration or blast fragmentation warheads, making it suitable for targeting both surface and heavily fortified underground facilities. So these are the advantages of the Crystal Maze 2 ballistic missile. Firstly, it operates well in GPS-denied environments. So India would never face a Kargil war-like situation when the US simply denied GPS data to India to target Pakistani positions. Moreover, India has its own GPS now called NAVIC, so Indian military does not need to depend on GPS data from foreign operators. Secondly, Crystal Maze 2 can breach areas secured by air defense systems. So, since it is a ballistic missile, its initial trajectory is out of range of ground-based missile defense systems. Then it re-enters the atmosphere and swoops down on the target with tremendous speed and gives little reaction time to the enemy or its defense apparatus. Thirdly, it can be fitted with penetration or blast warheads, thus it has bunker buster qualities. China has been building vast underground bunkers in Aksai Chin, fearing an Indian military offensive in the region. The Crystal Maze could neutralize such a network before any ground offensive. Now, Crystal Maze 2 would have been aptly suited for the Indian forces' Balakot surgical strike in Pakistan, had it been in India's arsenal back then. Moreover, with its massive 250-kilometer range, IF fighter jets like Mirage or Rafale, Sukhoi 30s or Tejas would not even have to leave Indian airspace to target any location inside Pakistan. The Indian Air Force already operates the Israeli Crystal Maze 1 missile. But this is not the only India-Israel missile collaboration. India and Israel have jointly developed the Barak 8 missile defense shield. The Barak 8 air defense system has been specially crafted to protect naval assets like India's aircraft carriers INS Vikrant or INS Vikramaditya, though the Barak 8 can be deployed in multiple theaters. Now recently, the Indian Air Force has been rapidly testing new missiles to boost its firepower. Indian Air Force Sukhoi 30 MKI fighter jet had conducted the test launch of Astra 2 BVR or Beyond Visual Range air-to-air missile. With an impressive range of 150 kilometers, the Astra 2 or Astra 2 is a massive upgrade on the Russian R-77 air-to-air missile for Russian jets. Astra Mk2 will be inducted into the Indian Air Force later this year in 2024 itself. The DRDO and the Indian Air Force though are aiming higher, developing the hypersonic Astra 3 air-to-air BVR missile with an impressive range of 350 kilometers. So any fighter jets inside Pakistani airspace would be on the radar of Indian fighter jets. IAF's strategic decision to test fire the Crystal Maze 2 missile in Andaman and Nicobar Islands is also worth noting. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are arguably India's most strategic defense outpost, overlooking the Malacca Strait on which China relies for 80% of its trade and oil imports. any Indian blockade of Malacca Strait would cripple China's ability to engage in prolonged warfare. Andaman and Nicobar Islands also holds Indian military's only Tri-Services Command. Now, this means that all three wings of the military, including the Indian Army, Indian Navy and the Air Force, all operate not independently but as a single unit. IF needs to ensure that any large-scale procurement of Crystal Maze 2 or similar missiles can be integrated on India's own indigenous fighter jets like the Tejas Mark 1A or the Tejas Mark 2, as well as the 114 foreign fighter jets that the IF plans to procure under the MRFA project. You too can have your say. Will enhanced defense cooperation with Israel boost India's military power? Leave a comment below and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons.